Good morning. I am just putting on some eye primer real quick, which is part of the kudos. Okay, so if you're interested in this month's sale, that's part of it. Real quick, if you're watching the replay, there won't be a red button in the corner. So go ahead and hashtag replay in the comments for me, so I know who this got to. If you're interested in my monthly bundle, comment bundle in the comments. And if you like makeup tutorials, you can click the 3 buttons in the top hand corner here and opt in for live notifications. Okay, that'll tell you when I go live. I'm gonna invite some people to join us. Join me. There's no us yet. That's okay. Ooh, I'm trying like super hard not to knock my phone out of its holder. Okay. Sorry. It's like holding it on by a thread because I got a new kickstand on the back and it likes to fall out of my stand now. We're gonna do spray foundation coverage, and if you haven't seen this yet, it is pretty dang cool. It's aerosolized foundation, which means it's super lightweight, but it's also full coverage. But that also means you don't need a lot of it to get maximum amount of coverage. You don't even need to use concealer with this stuff. It's so good. Like, look at that. That was with like 2.5 sprays, and I got the whole half of my face. So it's gonna last a long time, even though it doesn't feel like there's a lot of product in the bottle. It's gonna last forever. Okay, and I always do it on a damp beauty blender, just because I feel like it helps bump the coverage up and it makes it so even as you're applying it. Feel free to say hello in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. I love to see where these videos get. Getting out of bed today was a real challenge. I was not super excited about it. I just wanted to sleep all day. That would have been nice, but okay, so that's our foundation. But I mean, do you see how big of a difference that makes? It's so good. And again, it's aerosolized, so it's super lightweight. Like, I can't even feel anything on my skin. But it is still full coverage. So if you don't like how heavy foundation feels on your face, this is a great option because it's going to take away that heavy feeling. You're not going to feel like you're wearing anything. Now we're going to go in with the Skin Solutions Concealer. If you've heard of Shape Tape, this is very similar to Shape Tape, but in my opinion, it's actually better. It has skincare properties built into it. So it has hyaluronic acid, it has vitamin E, squalene. So it actually nourishes your under eye as you wear it. And I use it for a brightening effect rather than for coverage, just because it makes you look more awake, more alive, right? But I love it because you don't really need a lot to get the coverage that you are looking for and to get that brightening effect. So it's gonna last forever. Like, that tube is huge. It has so much product in it. And I've been using it for probably almost 6 months. And I mean, like, it's still full. And it's about the same price as Shape Tape when it's not on sale. But I'm pretty sure you get like almost twice as much product. So it is a good value for your buck. And I actually know presenters who use it as foundation, especially if they have like rosacea or something, because it does have really awesome coverage. But like, do you see the difference that made for each side? Like, it's so good. It's so incredible. And I keep most of the product down on my cheekbone because you really, oh hey Megan, you really don't need a lot of product on that skin below your eye. Your under eye skin is actually the thinnest skin on your whole body. And so you want to be gentle with it and not put a ton of product on it, because when you get lots of product there, that's when it's going to start to look cakey and not natural. Is that a new foundation? No. So this is the Skin Solutions Concealer. Woo! It is their newest concealer. It came out about 6 months ago. But you can use it as foundation. And there's lots of presenters who do. I have done it as foundation coverage as well. And I like to save it for my under eyes. So that's the only reason I don't do it that way. And I have several other kinds of foundations, so I like to use those instead. So no reason not to. It's just what I prefer to do. Okay, so this is the setting powder, and I'm just setting the Touch Behold setting powder. I'm just setting everywhere I put that concealer. Okay, and that's just to keep it from creasing, make it last all day, all the things. And I have dry skin, so I don't bake. But baking is basically where you take a dry blender and you get a lot of the powder on it, and then you put it everywhere you put that concealer or everywhere you get oily, and you let it sit for a minute, and then you brush it off. I don't do that because I don't need to. I've got dry skin, and so I am not going to add more dryness than I need to. Good morning. Let me know where you're watching from. I love to see where people are watching from or what they're doing this morning as they're watching. Okay, so now I'm going to set the rest of my face with some pressed powder, okay? This is going to bump up your coverage if you want to. For me, I'm just trying to set it so that my makeup doesn't move because I wear a mask all day. And so setting everything helps with that, especially like where your mask sits. So I make sure I go along my jawline just to make sure everything is nice and set. This is the shade Velour, so if you're a similar complexion to me, that's a good shade for you. Or Organza if you're a little lighter in the winter. Okay, now we're going to go in with the pressed powder foundation in the shade Tweed, and that's what I'm going to contour with. Okay, and it does look lighter on camera. It is fairly dark, but it's not too dark. It's just dark enough. And I go from the corner of my mouth, Brookham City. Yes, it's a good place to be. It's pretty here. Okay, but corner of the mouth to the top of the ear, and then we just blend it out. Hi, Aggie. How's your day off going? And then blend, blend, blend. Okay, but you don't need to do a ton to get some impact. I feel like I see a lot of people who do a lot of contour. You really don't need a ton. You just need to trick people's eyes into looking at the center of your face instead of the outside. So it's mostly an optical illusion that you're trying to create. Give your face some shadows when you've taken all the shadows away with foundation. So you're just adding it back in. Okay. I'm going to do my nose. And not that I dislike the shape of my nose, but it is fun to just make it a little thinner. Okay, and then around the jawline. Because I don't know about you, but I'm still losing this dang COVID 20 or 40 or however much it was. I don't even know anymore. Okay. So now we're going to do our blush. This is the shade Sisterly. Okay, and it's just a really pretty pink. It's a great shade to start with because it looks good on pretty much all skin tones. I would actually dare say all skin tones. It also has a little bit of a shimmer to it. So if you like a one and done as far as like highlight and blush goes, Sisterly is a great option. Like, you see, it's just got a little bit of shimmer in it. I'm going to be a little extra today because I'm doing a pretty dramatic eye and I kind of want the rest of my face to go with it. So we are going to do the Touch Lamode Cream to Powder Luminizer, which looks like that. This is the shade Lustrous, which is a really pretty rosy gold. Okay, and I put it on my finger just to warm it up a little bit, and then I just tap it on that cheekbone. I see that. So pretty. You could also use this as an eyeshadow if you wanted to. I have so many eyeshadows that I don't need to. But maybe one day I'll try it. You can also use eyeshadow as highlight. There's no limit to what you can do with your makeup. Okay, alrighty. On to brows. Aggie's been doing her brows. She told me the other day she got a compliment. Oh, snap. You guys know how I do this. Line underneath, line above, and then we fill in like a coloring book. No reason for it to be intimidating. And if you're not sure like what shape you like for your brows, try a couple different ones. Look them up on Pinterest and then try a couple and see what you like. It's not going to hurt you, and you can always do it on a day when you're not going out because there are several of those nowadays. And just use a light hand as you're filling in, and it'll make it look more natural, okay? We're going to kind of round out that front and then just fill it in. Okay, and then I take this spoolie and just kind of brush through that front just to give it a little bit more of a natural look. Okie dokie. Other side. Line on the bottom. Line on top. And the nice thing about brows is naturally they are not even. So when you do them, they're a little, as long as they're the same shape, they do not have to be exactly the same. I used to like eyebrow powder for my brows to fill in the sparse spots. Yeah, and that's a very easy way to do it. I like using this pencil just because it's so dainty and thin. The strokes actually look like hairs. So that's one of the reasons that I love the pencil so much. But I actually have a brow powder and pomade palette from Younique as well. It's just discontinued. So I don't like using it live because it's not something that people can buy. Welcome, we're doing some makeup. Feel free to comment. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm popping in and out so fast that I half the time I don't catch anybody. That's okay. All right, okay, so here's the fun stuff. We got a brand new eye palette. And it's so pretty, guys. Look at that. Ooh, those metallics are so fun. So we are going to use that. First, we're going to do a base with palette 8. Okay, so that's this guy. So pretty. We're going to start with, ooh, hold on just a second. We got, where is my brush cleaner? Uh-oh. This is what happens when you have small children and you're playing with your makeup. Things go missing. Oh, well. We'll just try and get it off on a tissue as much as possible. I used green yesterday, and we don't want green muddying up our oranges today. Oh, there it is. Okay. This stuff is so cool. If you don't have it yet, go get some. See how dirty my brush is? Okay. I'm going to spray it twice. Okay. And then take a tissue and rub it off. Do they sell a powder still at all for brows? So they don't sell a powder specifically for brows, but you could use eyeshadow. Like, just find a good shade of eyeshadow that works well with your complexion. There's a couple different ones. You could do Marvelous. I think Marvelous would probably be your best bet, Megan, because it's so dark and you have like black hair. So that's the one I would choose. I believe it's called Marvelous. And you can just buy the pot and it's $14. And if you have like a magnetic case to put it in already, that would be a great option for you. And then you could just do that, okay? Alrighty, so we're gonna go kind of for like a sunset look, okay? So I'm gonna use these two oranges here. This is Revived and Profound, okay? And we're gonna do, you know what, let's do a little bit of upbeat in the crease just to kind of start off. And that's the wrong brush. Here we go. We're gonna start with our blending brush. And this one is just fluffier. So it makes it easier to blend, just like it sounds. Get off there. And with these eyeshadows, less is more, and they're all buildable. Okay, so you can always add to what you're putting on your face, but you can't. My dark brown hair is going gray. Well, I mean, you're not completely gray yet, so don't do your eyebrows gray yet. That would look silly. You want to do them dark for as long as possible. And heck, you can do them dark even if you're going gray. Like, I'm going gray, woman. I still do my eyebrows dark. It's fine. It's all good. Okay, so now we're going to do Profound and just kind of do it a little bit lower than Upbeat, that yellow, but still kind of high up on that brow bone. Okay. Other side. Okay. All right, so now we're going to do Profound right in the crease. And a little bit in that outer corner. Okay. Okay. So pretty. Okay, now I'm going to take my blending brush, which is the one I did my lightest color with, and you're just going to blend all of that kind of out together so you don't have any harsh lines, okay? Alrighty, now we're going to take our liner shader brush, and I'm going to kind of teach you about these new colors, okay? So I gotta put I haven't learned the names yet. So we've got Unselfish, Considerate, Inexpressible, Bewitched, Deeply, and Heartwarming, okay? And these are all designed to be like precious metal shades, okay? So you've got rose gold, you have gold, copper, silver, all the things, okay? So I'm getting my liner shader brush wet because these are actually designed to be used wet or dry, okay? So they're a brand new technology. It's pretty dang cool. What they do is they shoot them into the palette as a liquid and then they dry to a powder. But that means that you can use them wet or dry, okay? And we're actually going to use this one, which was Heartwarming, okay? And we're going to pat it on, not swipe. Patting is going to give you a more intense color. Swiping is going to spread it out more and blend it more. Okay, look how pretty that color is. So beautiful. And you can just intensify it as much as you want. You could even use these as an eyeliner because you can get your brush wet. So it's going to give you a more precise application of that product. Okay, look how pretty that is. Oh, I love it. Okay, now I'm going to take just a teeny tiny bit of that really bright gold. We're going to put it in the corner of our eye with our finger. For a little bit of a highlight, okay? And you could actually use this palette as a highlight as well. Like this silver one would be an amazing highlight color. And you would just have to use like the teeny tiniest bit, which is really neat. Okay, now I'm going to take that liner shader brush and I'm going to use the shader side, and we are going to go ahead and use that red color. What's it called? Heartwarming. I keep forgetting. These are brand new, so I've never used them before. All right, and we're going to go ahead and put that on the bottom lash line. And I am using it dry because I'm going to kind of blend it out a little bit. But I love using shadows as eyeliner on my actual lash line because I feel like it finishes off the look better instead of using a really harsh line of eyeliner. Alright, and then I'm going to just blend that out with the shader side. Okay, done. Alrighty, now if you wanted to, you could get that liner shade, or the shader side, liner side, goodness, speaking is hard today, wet, and you could actually do a cute little wing with that heartwarming shade. And then you would be able to do like a winged liner with it, which would be super cool, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and clean up those edges just a smidge. Give yourself a little bit of an eye lift. See how big of a difference that made? Okay, and we're gonna move on to lashes. All right, if I can find... Dude, small children, they like to mess with my stuff. Okay, and I am going to do some liner just on my top waterline. This just helps your lash line look thicker from the bottom up, okay? So even though I'm putting mascara on, this is going to make a little bit of a difference for it looking like my lashes are thicker. Okay, this is the Moves Trick Epic Lash Primer. If you are not using a lash primer, girl, stop living under a rock. Go get you some lash primer. It is the greatest stuff. It makes your lashes look longer. It also helps condition them so they don't break off when you're using mascara. And it helps your mascara stick because it has a little bit of an adhesive effect. Ah, dang it. If you have issues, like I do, with getting mascara places where it shouldn't be, if you take a palette and you look down into it like this and get those lashes away from your upper lid, it will help you not get mascara on that upper lid. Okay, so if you have issues with that like I do, this is a great trick. And then you guys don't have to look at my nostrils. I'll just look at my own nostrils. Okay, look at that. You see how big of a difference that made? It's insane. Like, no lashes? Lashes. So good. This is the Epic Twisted mascara, and it's called the Twisted Mascara because it has two wands. So I was using the big wand, okay? And that one is great for separating out your lashes, making sure every single one of them gets individually coated. And then this little guy is awesome for going in on those inner corners, outer corners, making sure you got all the tips of your lashes really well coated. And then the bottom, okay? Look at that. So pretty. I never used to do my bottom lashes because it was always just such a mess. And I was like, I don't want to deal with that. I just don't want to do. And now I do it all the time because this mascara makes it so easy. And you don't want to wait too long after you put your lash primer on to put your mascara on because you want it to be tacky. Okay, so don't wait too long. That's why I do, when I'm doing my lives, I do my eyes one at a time because that way my primer doesn't dry too fast. This wand is amazing. Like you know how you used to like have to comb out your lashes before you put mascara on? Don't gotta do that anymore. Look at that. So pretty. Ta-da. Okay. Alrighty. We are gonna do a lip real quick just because I want to. Till there. But I'm not gonna wear it all day because I have to go to work and I gotta wear a mask all day. So we're gonna do lip liner in the shade Posh, okay? Oh goodness, for real. Look at that. A small child was using this last. Okay, that's better. All right, and then I always fill in the sides. Because you know an ombre look is like all what's in, so gotta do an ombre effect, and this helps. Hi, Jen. Welcome. We're just doing some makeup. Yeah, it's really pretty. Like, and there's people who just use the lip liners as lipstick, and that's totally doable. they do not move. Like, they are great. Okay, I forgot my lip color over there. Hold on just a second. We're gonna use the one I got last month. It's called Successful. And it is a really pretty rosy nude. Nosy rude. Oh man. Speaking is hard. And with these, less is more, just like with pretty much all their products. So make sure you wipe off that doe foot like as much as possible. Okay. And then you're gonna just go in. And if you need more, you can always grab more. But it's always better to start with less. And pairing that brighter pink with a nude just gives that nude a little bit of pop of color. Without it being too much. Okay. Done. Easy peasy. Now if you wanted to ombre it even more, what you could do is you could take a lighter pink, so like super light. This is minted, and it is like super, super light, okay? And you just tap that right in the middle. Like so, okay? And that makes your lips actually look poutier without needing lip filler, okay? So if you like that pouty look, but you don't want to pay for lip filler, there you go, okay? And that's all she wrote. We're done. If you have any questions, feel free to, I got some sweatshirts for the girls if you want them. I dropped them off this morning. I am leaving in about 15 minutes, Megan. Jordan will be here all day, but he is working on homework. So is it okay if you wait until this evening? Just because he's going to be kind of busy and I want him to get done as much as possible tonight. So, yeah, if you want to wait till this evening, I'll be home at 7. But yes, but that's it. And like I said, if you have any questions or you want any of the palettes I used today, the palettes are on sale right now. You get the palette, an eyeliner of your choice, and the eye primer for $75. So it's a freaking good deal. You get basically one of the products is free. One of like the liner or the primer is free. I can drop them off this evening. Perfect. That'd be great. So yeah, it's a great deal right now if you want any of the palettes. And this guy is limited edition, so it's only available this month as far as I'm aware. And now the small munchkins are calling, so I better go. We'll see ya. Bye.